sliceofscifi.com.
Hey Slicers, it's Shabby with Slice of Sci-Fi. We're at a special screening of Mortal Kombat Legacy II here in Hollywood. Let's see who we can grab next to interview.
Awesome.
Right now, I'm with
Samantha Joe, aka Katana.
So first of all, I have to ask you, were you a fan of the Mortal Kombat video games growing up?
How could you not be? I mean, it was like the coolest video game at the time, especially with two brothers. You know, it was all about violence and fighting and cool stuff and gory stuff and violent stuff. So, yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you saw the movies, right?
Oh, how could you not see the movies? Come on.
So how do you think the video games and the movies have changed or evolved over time into your web series?
Well, I think it's pretty known that in the 90s and at the time of the previous films and TV series of the franchise, I think the trend was a little bit more fluffy and bright colors and humorous, and I think the violence was kind of masked by that, you know, PG-13 vibe. And especially after movies like Dark Knight, where it kind of set a more gritty, darker vibe, cinema has changed since then. And so, I mean, there couldn't really be a better time for Mortal Kombat, being such a gory and violent game. Like, this is the time for it. So I think the fact that we got to do the web series and in this specific time is just fantastic, and I can't wait for people to see it. It's super violent and dark and, you know, everything that the franchise should be.
So you guys are a web series. So being a web series as opposed to being on TV, how do you use being a web series to your advantage rather than being online? Because everything's online these days. It's digital.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the advantages would definitely be the fact that you get instant feedback. You know, there are all the YouTube comments and all the reviews that you see, like, so instantaneously. After a video is posted, like not even a minute later, there's at least one comment on YouTube. So that's really great to get that sort of feedback and to get, you know, somewhat truthful feedback, because they really don't worry about hurting your feelings on YouTube. So that's great that it's so honest and comes right from them. But there would be that, and then definitely just the fact that, you know, everyone watching it is a fan. Like, they clicked on the button themselves. It's not like they're scrolling through TV and came across it and like, oh, nothing else is on, let's just watch this. They clicked on our video, so they wanted to watch it, and that really means something. The fact that Season 1 did so well, had, like, I think 65 million views, you know, and those are 65 million people that, you know, wanted to watch it. So that just means so much to us and gave us such a strong drive going into the second season.
So since Season 1 was a hit, what can you tell your fans about Season 2? Can you give us a hint of what's going to happen?
Well, I know that the word fatalities has been thrown around, so I'm going to say that for sure. Fatalities, violence, more fights, the tournament, a linear and intertwined storyline, so it's not one episode per character, next episode, next character. We're all mingled and we all get to meet each other, and it's on the tournament island. So I think violence, more interaction, pretty much everything they could have possibly wanted. And it's all being released at the same time, so you don't have to wait a week to watch a 5 to 10 minute video. You get to watch them all at once.
You mentioned violence. Now, the show is very violent, and there's a lot of kung fu moves. So what do you do to stay in shape? Because it's a really physically fit show.
Well, even though sometimes I wish otherwise, I don't think I've been out of shape since I was 4 years old. I've been doing martial arts since I was 4 years old, and martial arts and competitions was a huge part of my life. Like, that was basically what my life was until the age of 17, 18. So my whole life was kind of like preparing for just doing kung fu and martial arts in film, which is awesome.
So let's just confirm, you didn't have a stunt double. That was all you, 100%?
All me. All the falling and the blood and the getting kicked in the head. You know, that's all me. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So did you obtain any injuries from that ever, or?
You know, a couple scrapes and bruises, but that's to be expected and was definitely worth the final product in my eyes.
So your character being so powerful and such a strong woman, what does that mean to you and women out there?
You know, it means so much to me, and that was the whole reason that I wanted to get into stunt work and action in acting. I mean, I'm not a major feminist, but I do like the whole idea that women can be strong and we can kick ass too, and we can hold our ground. So up until I was 18, that's all I practiced. And now I get a chance to kind of show it to people and hopefully be an inspiration to other women to learn it. And you can learn it, and you can use it, and you can be strong, and you can have muscles, and you can still look good doing it.
You're kicking a lot of ass on that show, let me tell you that.
Thank you. I hope to.
So if you could be a superhero and have any power you wanted, what would it be? And I'm sure you've been asked this a million times.
Actually, I haven't been asked that, but I'm really excited to answer. I think I'd like to be Superman, but I guess it would be woman. But I don't know. He's always been my favorite superhero, and he just has a good spirit, and the whole character of Superman is just someone to look up to, and like a good, genuine guy, and he has these crazy superpowers and can lift anything, and according to the movies, he can fly around the world in reverse time, so that would be my choice.
So with your character, can we expect any love, or what is in store for your character in the love department?
Well, you'll have to find out. I think Katana at this point is just so involved and conflicted with herself, just with what happened in her family in season 1 and the whole, with Melina and Shao Kahn, that whole beef. I don't know. It's a lot to focus on. So as for season 2, I don't think she's thinking a whole lot about that. But hopefully there's more to come, either with a season 3 or a feature, or however we get to continue the franchise. I mean, that would be great to explore, because everybody needs a little bit of love,
Oh, I know. Thank you so much. All right, take care. And right now I'm with Casper. You might remember him back in Phoenix at Comic-Con. Do you remember us?
I remember you.
Awesome. So you came in here today with shades, wearing your sunglasses at night. Do you want to explain that a little bit? The look that's going on tonight?
I'm Johnny Cage. This is how I roll.
He's Johnny Cage all the time. He's in character. So, Johnny, what can we expect from season 2 of your show?
We're going to expect a lot of fatalities, and eventually maybe a nut punch or two.
So a lot of kicking ass.
It's a lot of kicking ass, and I get to be in the girl fight.
Ooh, there's a girl fight. Okay, I'm going to play on this. Can you explain what that means at all?
Well, I just get to get in a fight with a couple of girls.
So not too far from your real life, or?
In the real life, I have 4 daughters and a wife, and I would never fight any of them because they would kick my ass.
So there's a lot of love.
Well, there's a lot of love, and yes, ma'am.
Good answer. He's good. So let's go back a little bit to old school Mortal Kombat. So were you a fan of the movie? Did you play the video games?
Yes, and I played Johnny Cage.
You played Johnny Cage.
And I'm still playing Johnny Cage. And my son plays Johnny Cage. So if we were to play the video game like old school, I'd probably be Johnny Cage versus Johnny Cage. And I would kick his Johnny Cage's butt.
So your son, is he involved in martial arts at all, or?
Well, no, he likes to box. He's 6'6". So he's a giant.
So he's learning from his dad?
Well, I would take him out, no problem. But I love him. It would be all love. I've been fighting a lot longer than he has, so.
So I don't want to know if you guys get in an argument, what happens at home? Do you send him to a room, or do you guys get in a boxing match? Do you finish him off like in the video game?
We'll go out to the beach and we'll handle it there. But,
man to man.
Man to man. But it's a lot of fun. So he's a good sparrer. So we have a lot of fun sparring.
Awesome. I'm sure he looks up to you a lot.
No, I look up to him because he's 6'6". Then I say I'm not that tall. So he's tall. I look up to him.
So the show is really physically, there's a lot of physical endurance where you're doing a lot of martial arts moves. What's your training regime like for you?
Well, I like to train a lot. I've trained with different people. I'm not as much an expert in the martial art field as most of the people in this, but I fight dirty.
Never clean.
Never clean.
I was gonna say something else, but this is PG-13, so we're not gonna go there.
Can't swear. All right, no swearing. That's good.
So I know it's a little tight right now, but can you show me a move or something, or teach me something? I'm wearing a skirt right now, if you can't see, but I want to see a kung fu move from you, a legendary one.
A legendary one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the winning pose that Johnny Cage has is.
Oh, wow. Oh. I have chills right now.
That's the finishing pose. I mean, that's just afterwards. But the other one's a split, which I can't quite do in this. So I'll split it, and then it's a punch to the nuts. Since you're a lady, I would never do that.
Yeah. That wouldn't be pleasant.
No.
Wow. So
those are my moves. The other one I would have would be like this, and then I would run. I'm not fighting you.
Hey, I might look skinny and tiny, but I'm not. I can probably take you on.
I'm sure you could.
You never know.
And my character does fight girls.
Oh, really?
We've already established that. But you've got a weapon in hand. I mean, you could use that thing.
Yeah, I can wrap this around your neck, and there's a lot of things.
Kinky. Shabby's kinky. I thought we were talking about fighting. She's talking about,
Yeah, this conversation's going somewhere else right now. All right, Johnny Cage, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you too, because I would take that guy out, I would take that guy out, I would take that out, and I would take you out to dinner.
Okay, I was going to say that's a wrap, but let's go. Hey, Slicers, I'm Shabby, and I'm at the Mortal Kombat Legacy II screening, and right now I'm with
Ian Anthony Dale,
a.k.a.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Ooh, I like that. You kind of look like a scorpion tonight, with the all black,
Unfortunately, I didn't have any mustard-colored pants. Otherwise, I would have worn them. It would have been a little more color appropriate in terms of my character. But this will have to do.
Oh yeah, you should have totally pulled out the mustard color pants. It's okay. Maybe next time.
Is that something that I should just generally? Every man should generally have in their wardrobe is a pair of mustard-colored pants.
Only if you play Scorpion. If you did that on a daily basis, I wouldn't be talking to you.
No.
You wouldn't get a lot of attention from girls. I'll tell you that right now. Anyways, what kind of characteristics does Scorpion have?
Well, in season 2, I guess you could sum up his characteristics by saying they're demonic. He's basically out to seek revenge for the death of his wife and child that happened at the end of season 1, and so he's just got revenge on his mind, and he's out for blood.
Will he seek his revenge in season 2? Can you reveal anything that's going to happen?
Will he find satisfaction? You'll have to wait and see. You'll just have to wait and see. Yeah.
You can't give us a hint or anything?
Well, let's just say that the ending to my character's search for vengeance ends spectacularly.
Ooh, okay. I like that. So, if you could be any superhero aside from Scorpion, your character, who would you be and what power would you want to have?
Wow, geez. From the Marvel characters that are available that nobody's played yet, or just anybody, anywhere?
Yeah, you could be Batman, but you can have a special power, you can read people's minds. So what character associated with what power, if that makes any sense?
I'd like to play James Bond, and I'd like to be able to see the future.
Ooh, that's a good answer. This guy knows what he's talking about. I have a scary feeling that you've thought about this before.
I've been asked the question a time or two about, what would your dream role be, and so I've had that answer, prepared from past answers. But the seeing the future is it just came to mind right now. When I think about it, that would actually be a really cool attribute to have.
So if you can see into your character's future, what do you see for him?
My character, Scorpion? I see a lot more bloodshed. I see a lot more fatalities. I see a character who never quite quenches his thirst for vengeance, and I just hopefully see a big bright future for this franchise.
So let's talk about the Kung Fu in the web series. Do you do all your own stunts?
I do as many of the stunts as the production allows me to. But I know that personally I'm limited as a martial artist. I have a stunt double named Kim Do, who also plays Ermac and who also did a little bit of doubling for Liu Kang. Whenever there were stunts that were really difficult or required a higher skill level, Kim would jump in and make it look awesome. And I have absolutely no problem stepping aside for him because he's one of the best in the business. But I like to do as much as they'll let me. Yeah.
So growing up, did you take any training with Kung Fu? Is that something you grew up with or trained?
You know, I didn't train as a child. My parents kind of preached nonviolence, and so any type of martial arts was out of the question back in the day. But since I moved to Los Angeles and gotten in the film industry, I realized that it was probably important that I learn a little bit about martial arts, and so I can at least be proficient if an opportunity presents itself. So I've trained Kung Fu for 3 years. I've also trained Japanese sword fighting, Shinkendo. So I'm not completely at a loss of what to do if given the opportunity.
So let's talk about the sci-fi genre. Are you a fan of that genre, or?
I'm a huge fan of the sci-fi genre. In fact, I've worked on several sci-fi related shows. Back in the day, a show called Surface, a show called Daybreak with Taye Diggs, very short-lived on ABC, and then a few seasons back, The Event on NBC. So
Mortal Kombat!
I'm quite familiar with the genre. I enjoy working in that genre, and it has the absolute best fans out of any genre, in my opinion.
And for you, what can we expect next in your career?
I'm about to shoot a new TV show for TNT and executive produced by Steven Bochco. It's called Murder in the First. It'll premiere in the summer of 2014. And then I have Hawaii Five-0 Season 4 premiering this Friday night, September 27th. And I'll be premiering I'll be appearing in the Season 3 premiere of American Horror Story on October 9th.
Wow, so you got a lot going on.
It's a busy time. It's a busy time, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Wow, that was fantastic. I'm looking forward to my date with Cage, for sure. He better pay for dinner. Anyways, you can catch it online. It's going to be up pretty soon, thanks to Machinima and Warner Bros, especially for putting all of this together. I'm Shabby. We'll catch you next time.
SliceofSciFi.com